Hello, I'm Pastor Jesse Viloria, senior pastor of Church of the Risen Christ. I just want to share with you how it came about when I finally decided to serve the Lord full time. And what happened was oftentimes I would have this weird dream. I always had these dreams as if my spirit was leaving my body. And there was this one time it was happening again. And so in my prayer, while it was happening, I was praying. And I asked the Lord, if this is you showing me something, then I would just let myself go. I'll let you have your way if this is you. And so what I did, all of a sudden, I just felt, the peace of God overwhelm me. And so in my mind and in my prayer, I was saying, okay, Lord, have your way. And so what happened was it was kind of like what Paul described. I'm not sure, but I know a man, not sure if he was in the body or out of the body. Parang ganun yung pakiramdam ko. Because all of a sudden, I was out of my body. That's the way it felt. Not only the way it felt, because I could see everything around me. My roommates, my board mates were all sleeping, and I was like on the roof, and I could just see them. I could even see my body on the bed. And then all of a sudden, in that dream or whatever you want to call it, God took me, my feeling, He took me to hell. And He showed me all the lives, the souls that were suffering in hell. And so I began to battle with the enemy, Satan. And to make the long story short, I woke up after that experience. My bed was wet with sweat, talagang basang-basa ng pawis. And right there and then, I knew that God was calling me to full-time. He was calling me to lead souls into His kingdom. So right then and there, I decided I'm going to go home. I packed up my stuff. I talked to my roommates, some of my friends that I had in school, and I told them I'm going to go home. I didn't even tell my mom before I went home. I didn't tell her anything. I just went home with all my bags. I told Mom, I believe the Lord is calling me to full-time ministry. I wasn't even sure what that really was. I just knew that God wanted me to serve Him for the rest of my life. When my mom heard that, to my knowledge, she talked to my dad, and they both agreed to let me, serve God full-time. But it was many years after that, maybe 5 years after that, when I became a pastor of Church of the Risen Christ. At that time, the name of our church was Philippine Agape Ministry, and after our 8th year anniversary, we changed our name to Church of the Risen Christ. But it was, so many years after I decided to serve God full-time that I became a pastor of a church. And so, siguro with that, I just want to encourage you, to serve God. If God is calling you to full-time ministry, follow His leading. But you don't have to serve God in full-time ministry. God wants you to serve Him, the way He wants you to serve Him. You don't need to have a dream like mine to finally say, Lord, I'm going to serve you. If God is encouraging you to serve Him now, I'm going to ask you, turn your life over to God. For me, when I finally decided to serve God, I can truly say that, there's nothing better than to be in the perfect will of God. And for me, it's to be a pastor here in the Philippines, in Olongapo City, at Church of the Risen Christ. This is God's perfect will for me. So I'm going to encourage you, follow God's perfect will, and you will have His perfect peace. Again, God bless you. This is Pastor Jesse Viloria sharing a short message, a testimony with you.